have fit in fine at your places. I'm Priyanka Bish from Arden Progressive School. Today in this class, we'll be studying about the remaining topics of Chapter 1. Chapter 1, which is Introduction to Accounting. So in this session, we'll be learning about these topics, about the term accounting, then difference between bookkeeping and accounting. Then we'll learn about the term accountancy, branches of accounting, users of accounting information, role of accounting, qualitative characteristics of accounting, and limitation of accounting. So these are the topics which we'll be covering in this class.
So in the previous class, we have studied about the term bookkeeping. We know that bookkeeping is an art of recording in books of accounts the monetary aspect of commercial or financial transaction. And it basically includes the activities like identifying the transaction, measuring the identified transaction in terms of money, recording the identified transaction in the books of original entry, and then classifying them into ledger. So these 4 steps were included in bookkeeping. Now what does accounting mean? Accounting basically means it starts where the bookkeeping ends. So after the process which are included in bookkeeping, the last process is classifying the transaction in the ledger. So after classification, we know we have studied about the process of accounting. After classifying the transaction, we summarize the transaction, we communicate the transaction and interpret the transaction to the interested party. So after the classification process, the process remaining is considered as accounting. So it includes the following activities like summarizing the classified transaction in the form of profit and loss account and balance sheet, etc. As we know, all the recorded transaction which are classified in ledger, it is then summarized by preparing trial balance, and with the help of trial balance the company is able to prepare their profit and loss account and balance sheet. So next step of accounting is analyzing and interpreting the summarized results, in other words drawing the meaningful information from profit and loss account and balance sheet. Now after summarizing the transaction in balance sheet and preparing profit and loss account, these results, which is profit and loss and financial position of the business, these results are now analyzed and they are interpreted to the interested parties. Last one is communicating the information to the interested party. So last step of accounting is to communicate all the results of the business organization such as profit and loss and financial position. These are now communicated to the interested parties. Interested parties can be banks, investors, creditors, government, etc. So it is clear that accounting includes the 3 steps, which is summarization of transaction, analyzing and interpreting the transaction, and then communicating the final results to the third party. Whereas bookkeeping includes identifying the financial transaction, measuring those transactions in terms of money, then recording the identified transaction in the books of journal, and 4th step is to classify the transaction in the ledger. So after understanding the concept of bookkeeping and accounting, here we'll be discussing some difference between bookkeeping and accounting. So let's begin with the first basis of distinction, which is scope. Bookkeeping includes identifying the transaction of financial nature, whereas accounting, in addition to the bookkeeping, it includes summarizing the classified transaction. As we know, bookkeeping is all about recording of transaction of financial nature. That's it. And accounting starts with the step summarization, classification and interpretation of the results. Second basis of difference is stage. So bookkeeping is a primary stage and accounting is a secondary stage. First bookkeeping is done, after that accounting is done. Third is objective. So objective of bookkeeping is to maintain a systematic record of the transaction of financial nature. So whenever there is a point of bookkeeping, we just have to understand that it is all about recording the transaction. Whereas main objective of accounting is to ascertain the results. Which results? About the profitability and financial position of the business. Fourth point is nature of job. So bookkeeping is routine and clerical in nature. It is done on daily basis, whereas accounting is analytical in nature. Then who performs? So junior staff performs the function of bookkeeping, whereas senior staff performs the function of accounting. Sixth point of difference is knowledge level. So in bookkeeping, limited level of knowledge is required by a person to perform this function, whereas in accounting, it is performed by the person who is having higher level of knowledge than that of a bookkeeper. And the last point of difference is analytical skill. So bookkeeper is not required to possess the analytical skill because it is all about recording a financial transaction, whereas the accountant is required to possess analytical skill. So these were some difference between bookkeeping and accounting. Now there is another term which is accountancy. Accounting, we know it includes the 3 steps: summarizing, interpreting and communicating the results to the third party. These 3 steps are included in accounting, but accountancy, it refers to a systematic knowledge of accounting concerned with the principles and techniques which are applied in accounting. It tells us how to prepare the books of accounts, how to summarize the accounting information, and how to communicate it to the interested parties. So according to the Kohler, accountancy refers to the entire body of the theory and practice of accounting. So here the difference between accounting and accountancy is accountancy includes some rules or principles and techniques which are to be applied by the accountant while maintaining the books of accounts. So when the accountant is recording the transaction, he will have to record those transactions according to the principles and rules which are specified in accountancy. So we can say that accountancy, it is a systematic knowledge which is concerned with the principles and techniques which are applied in accounting. Now there are some types of subfields of accounting, or we can also call it as branches of accounting. So as we know, business these days requires various types of information to perform its function more efficiently, and to meet this increasing requirement of business, various specialized branches of accounting have come into existence. So we'll learn about these branches. First is financial accounting. So here the main purpose of this branch of accounting is to record the business transaction in a systematic manner. And why these transactions are recorded in a systematic manner? So as to ascertain the profit or loss of the accounting period. So if a businessman wants to know how much profit he has earned or how much loss he has suffered, so for this he will have to prepare profit and loss account. By preparing profit and loss account, the business can easily ascertain the profitability of the business. And to present the financial position of the business, it prepares balance sheet. The balance sheet is prepared by the company so that the financial position of the business can be ascertained. So this branch of accounting provides the information which is required by the management and various other interested parties. Second branch of accounting is cost accounting. Now, the main purpose of cost accounting is to ascertain the total cost and per unit cost of goods produced and services rendered by a business. So, main motive of cost accounting is to ascertain the total cost, a per unit cost of goods produced and services rendered. It also estimates the cost in advance, and it helps the management in exercising strict control over the cost. Now, third branch is management accounting. So here the main purpose of management accounting is to present the accounting information in such a way so as to assist the management in planning and controlling the operations of a business. So main purpose of management accounting is to provide the information to the management so that the management can easily plan and control the operations of the business. So for this, the management accountant uses various techniques and concepts to make the accounting data more useful for managerial decision. For example, these techniques can be ratio analysis, budgetary control, fund flow statement, cash flow statements, etc. All these are included in management accounting. Next is tax accounting. So this branch of accounting is basically used for tax purposes. So it is called tax accounting. Income tax and GST are computed on the basis of this accounting only. Now next is social responsibility accounting. As we know, the society provides the infrastructure and the facilities without which the business cannot operate at all. So here the business also has some responsibilities towards the society. There is a growing demand for the reports on activities which reflect the contribution of an enterprise to the society. So we can say that social responsibility accounting is the process of identifying, measuring and communicating the contribution of a business to the society. Now, what can be the contribution of the business to the society? It can be providing employment to underprivileged, providing financial and manpower support for public programs, environmental contribution, product safety, product durability, customer satisfaction, providing the product at reasonable rate, etc. So these are some contribution of a business towards the society. Now we will learn about the users of accounting information and their needs, or the parties interested in accounting information. So as we know, accounting information is used by various groups of people who have contact with the business enterprise. So here the users of accounting information are classified into two groups. First is internal users and second is external users. So internal users are the person who have a direct interest in the business enterprises. The two groups which are included in internal users are owners and management. So owners and management are the two groups who have direct interest in the business enterprises. Who are the owners? Owners can be their present investors who contribute capital in the business and as such want to know about the profitability and financial soundness of the business. So owners of the business always want to know about the profitability of their business, also the financial position of their business. They also want to know whether the profits are increasing or decreasing, what are the reasons for the increase or decrease in profit, what is the value of fixed assets and floating assets of the business. So all such information is provided by accounting. Now if we talk about management, who is also an internal user of the accounting information, so management need these information for the efficient and smooth running of business enterprises, and their needs are met by accounting information provided by published reports of the business enterprise. See, we know business enterprise prepare profit and loss account, balance sheet, cash flow statement of the business, and all these results such as profit, financial position and cash flow statement, all these information they are published in reports. So the needs of the management are basically met by the accounting information which is provided by published reports of business enterprise. Now what does this published reports includes? It includes profit and loss account, balance sheet and cash flow statement. However, most of the needs of the management they are met by unpublished internal reports. Now what is unpublished internal reports? Unpublished internal reports, it provides the information relating to the cost of a product, speed of increase in cost of production, profitability of each product, reasons for increase or decrease in sales and profit. So these are some information which the management gets from unpublished or internal reports. So we can say here management gets information from two types of reports. First is from published reports. Published reports includes profit and loss account, balance sheet and cash flow statement. Whereas unpublished or internal reports includes information such as cost of product, speed of increase in cost of production, profitability of each product, etc. Now the management, they have the direct access to these unpublished or confidential reports which contains valuable information not available to the external users. So there is one more difference between published and unpublished reports. Published reports, they are available to the external users also, whereas unpublished reports, they are available for internal users only. So now we will talk about the external users. Who are the external users? So external users can be individuals or organization who have present or future interest in the business enterprise, but they are not the part of management. That is why they are called external users of accounting information. So it is clear who are external users. These are the users who are not the part of management, who have the interest in present or future interest in the business enterprise. They are known as external users. So external users do not have the access to unpublished reports of the enterprise. So they make use of published reports such as profit and loss account, balance sheet, cash flow statement, etc. So the external users are investors, creditors, lenders, employees, government, etc. So all these are included in external users who requires the information of the business such as profitability and financial position, so that in future or in present they can invest in the concerned business. Now next we have role of accounting. See, as we know, business is dynamic, which keeps on changing. So with the changes in business environment and increasing social demands, the role of accounting has also changed. Over the centuries, the role of accounting remained confined to the record keeping of financial transaction only. But in today's rapidly changing business environment has changed the role of accounting also. So at present, the accounting plays the following different role. First is role of determining the financial position. So as we know, it is also regarded as a means of showing the financial position of the business by preparation of balance sheet. So here we know, to know the financial position of the business, balance sheet needs to be prepared by the organization. Second is role of information system. We know the accounting is now regarded as an information system because it is capable of providing the kind of information which the managers and the other interested parties required for taking appropriate decision. We know there are some external users also who requires the accounting information. Accounting information includes profitability and financial position of the business. So these informations are acquired by the interested parties so that they can take appropriate decision whether to invest in the business or not, whether to grant some loan to the business or not. So all these decisions depends upon the information provided by the organization. Next is role of service provider. So accounting is regarded as a service activity because it provides quantitative financial information which is helpful to the users in different ways. So quantitative financial information here means about the profitability of the business, which is helpful to the users who are interested in investing in the business. Next is role of a language. So accounting is viewed as a language of business because it prepares reports and statements which communicate information regarding the business enterprise. We know the results which are ascertained by the organization. These results are analyzed, they are interpreted, and at last they are communicated to the interested party. So we can call accounting as a language of business. Then role of historical record. See, accounting is viewed as chronological record of all the financial transaction in the books of accounts according to the specified rule. So there are some rules which are specified in accountancy, and according to the rule, whatever we are recording, it should be according to the historical record. If anything is changing in the present time, any value of any product is changing in the current year, then we will not consider that value. We will consider the value at which we have acquired that particular product. Next is role of determining the net profit. So it is also regarded as a means of determining the true profit or loss of a business enterprise. Business enterprise comes to know about the profitability. They know about their profitability by preparing profit and loss account. So here profit and loss account is very important to be ascertained. As we know, the interested users or the external users are interested in the profitability of the business, and according to the profitability, the investors invest in the business. Now here are some qualitative characteristics or attributes of accounting information. First is reliability. Now what does the term reliability means? Reliability means trustable. So accounting information must be reliable. Reliability implies that the information must be factual and verifiable. The accounting information is said to have verifiability if such information can be verified from source document. Now what are source document? Source document can be cash memos, purchase invoice, sales invoice, correspondence, agreements, property deed and other similar documents. So how can we verify accounting information? So accounting information can be verified by the source document. Source documents are cash memos, invoices, etc. So verifiability ensures the truthfulness of the recorded transaction, which can be independently checked by anyone interested in the business to ascertain the true position. But if the source documents are not available, then the accounting information disclosed by profit and loss account and balance sheet will not be capable of being verified, and it would imply that it cannot be relied on. So it is clear, interested parties or third party who are interested in our business, they will check our transaction only by checking the source document. So those transactions can be verified by the source document, and if the company is not having source document, so these information cannot be reliable for the third parties. Second is relevance. Now what does relevance means? Accounting informations depicted by financial statements must be relevant to the objectives of the enterprise. Unnecessary and irrelevant informations should not be included in the financial statement. So how we can say the information is relevant? To be relevant, the information must be capable of making difference in decision. That is, it must help the management, investors, creditors and other users of accounting information in making decision. For example, information regarding the rate of interest or rate of dividend paid by the company in the previous year is relevant information for the investors, as it provides a basis for forecasting future dividends. So basically, the investors who are interested in our business, who are likely to invest in our business, they will need the information about profitability and the dividend paid or interest paid by the company. So for them, relevant information will be payment of dividend in the previous year and in the current year. Now next is understandability. So accounting information should be presented in such a simple and logical manner that they are understood easily by their users such as investors, lenders, employees, etc. A person who does not have any knowledge of accounting terminology should also be able to understand them without much difficulty. And how it can be done? It can be done by giving relevant explanatory notes to explain the information given in financial statements. Now these explanatory notes make the financial statements more useful and understandable. Next is comparability. The comparability is a very useful quality of accounting information. The financial statements, which include profit and loss account and balance sheet, it should contain the figures of previous year along with the figures of current year. And why it should be there? So that the current performance can be compared with the past performance. Similarly, the financial statement should be prepared in such a way that the profitability and financial position of the concern may be compared with the other concern of the similar type. So comparison basically reveals the strong and weak points of the business entity, and comparability is possible when different firms in the same industry adopt the same accounting principle from year to year. Last is faithful presentation. So financial statements are required to show a true and fair view of profitability, financial position and cash flow of an enterprise. For example, application of appropriate accounting standards, they normally results in financial statements and they portray true and fair view of information about the enterprise. Now at last we'll be discussing about some limitations or demerits of accounting. So first limitation is influenced by personal judgment. So accounting is as yet an exact science and the accountant has to exercise his personal judgment in respect of various items. For example, it is extremely difficult to predict with any degree of accuracy the actual use of life of an asset which is needed for calculating depreciation. Depreciation means decrease in value of assets due to the constant use of asset. So here one cannot predict the exact useful life of an asset. So it is basically done by the personal judgment of the accountant and it influences the accounting information. So that is why it is considered as limitation of accounting. Second is based on accounting concepts and convention. So we know accounts are prepared on the basis of number of accounting concept and convention. Hence, the profitability and financial position disclosed by it may not be realistic. Accountant has to record the transaction according to the rules, regulation, principles which are specified in accountancy. And by this, we know business is dynamic, so principles also need to be changed. But here there are some rules which cannot be changed. For example, fixed assets are shown in balance sheet according to the going concern concept, which means the fixed assets will be shown at their cost and not at their market value. So at whatever cost the fixed asset was acquired, that cost will not be considered in the current scenario. If the value of such fixed assets is increased or decreased in the market, that cost will not be considered, only the acquired cost will be considered. So it proves that the accounting is based on concept and conventions which are specified in accountancy, and this is a limitation of accounting. Next is incomplete information. So here accounting statements provide only the incomplete information because the actual profit or loss of a business can be known only when the business is closed down. So it is clear whatever the information the business is providing, it is not the correct information about the profitability and financial position of the business, because actual profitability of the business will be known once the business is wind up. Next is omission of qualitative information. So accounts contain only those information which can be expressed in terms of money. Qualitative aspect of business units are completely omitted from the books as these cannot be expressed in monetary terms. As we know, there are many transactions or many happenings in the business which affects the business somehow. Qualitative information also affects the business. So changes in management, reputation of business, management labor relations, firm's ability to develop new product, all these are important for the business. They affect the business somehow. But these qualitative transaction or qualitative information cannot be expressed in monetary terms, so it will not be recorded in accounting. So this is one of the limitation of accounting. Next is based on historical cost. So accounts are prepared on the basis of historical cost, that is original cost, and as such the figures given in financial statement do not show the effect of changes in price level. We know the assets remain undervalued in many cases, particularly in land and building. So the outcome of this practice is that balance sheet values of assets are not helpful in estimating the true financial position of the business. So if the value of land and building is decreased in the current scenario, but according to the accounting principle, all the transactions or all the costs are recorded on the historical cost basis. So we will provide that cost, which is historical cost of land and building. We will record the land and building historical cost, which gives the wrong information, which does not depict the true fair position of the business. So this is also a limitation of accounting. Then comes affected by window dressing. Now what does window dressing mean? Window dressing refers to the practice of manipulating accounts so that the financial statements may disclose a more favorable position than the actual position. As we know, accountants maintain the records. So window dressing means when the accountant manipulates the accounts by himself. For example, the purchases made at the end of the year may not be recorded, or the closing stock may be overvalued. So correct decisions cannot be taken on the basis of such financial statements. So these were some limitations of accounting. So in this session we have learned the difference between the bookkeeping and accounting, also about accountancy, the external or internal users of accounting information, role of accounting, limitation of accounting, and qualitative characteristic of accounting. In the next session, we'll be continuing with some more topic of the same chapter. That's all for today. Thank you.